The fate of our empires will be decided right here. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to the final battle of the head-to-head between me and pixelated Apollo over on Shogun 2. This is the, accumulation of everything we've been working towards, and this is the final battle. I have Apollo down to 2 settlements by this point, and this is kind of his last stand. You know, there might be a chance to come back, but it's looking very grim for him because I just have so much territory at this point in the game. And my army is extremely elite, with the daimyo leading him, our original daimyo, who has won countless battles against the Shimazu invaders, and now it is time for us to be the invaders. So right now, we are both just accumulating our forces. You can see a balance of power is extremely even at this point in the game, considering this is his last stand, and he's kind of mustered everything he can together to really try and stand up against me. He does still have a chance in this battle, but he might just end up giving up even if he wins this, just because it doesn't look like there is a lot left. But I still feel very happy with my force being led by my daimyo, of course, and even my secondary commander is also pretty elite as well by this point. He's won many battles, and it's kind of crazy to think at the earlier points in the game I was literally down to only having my daimyo left remaining in the battle. In the entire campaign, I had 1 general because Apollo had killed all the other ones. So the fact that I have multiple elite generals is kind of insane and really, really awesome. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, this army is going to consist of a lot of elite units. I have, lots of guns at my disposal, a lot of veteran Ashigaru who have seen lots of combat. You can see these guys are really elite. Actually, where is their experience? I guess these guys might not have any. Can't actually see the experience on any of this infantry, but it definitely has some. I know these guys have, chevrons and stuff, but maybe I just recruited these new guys. I also have 2 units of hand mortars as well, very expensive but elite units. I have veteran katana Ashigaru, so these are like the top tier Ashigaru units, and as you can see, they look very, very cool. So these are better than just obviously normal katana Ashigaru. They're going to be a very top tier infantry, great shock infantry, and they found their way into my army. My cavalry force is looking very elite at this point, after winning many battles. I believe I also have some really good, I have veteran Naginata samurai as well, so these guys are the more elite version. If we go into slow-mo really quickly, yeah, these guys are just basically the tier up of what we've been fighting for, so I've really managed to bring the Chosokabu Empire forward. I also have some Yumi heroes as well. These guys are the hero units of my empire, so literally the best bowman you can get, and I believe they have something like 125 accuracy. It's kind of crazy. And we also have obviously our reinforcement army coming in as well, which is again filled with a bunch more cavalry, a bunch more infantry. But yeah, obviously I attacked Apollo in this battle, so I'm going to have to be kind of aggressive. However, it does seem like Apollo is moving forward. Again, in his army, he does have militia, which isn't great, but he doesn't have a ton of militia. He also has, katana samurai, but not veteran katana samurai. So my army does overall outmove him, because, he's still using Yari Ashigaru, whereas I have veteran Ashigaru. And this just goes to show, the ability. This just goes to show the ability of, there we go, I actually managed to find some of this cavalry here as well, the light cavalry in the woods. This just goes to kind of show the turning of the empires. I've managed to now take the advantage and turn that advantage into a further advantage. And I honestly think that a big part of this campaign, the reason Apollo is struggling so much towards the end of this campaign was the fact that he attacked me so early. He didn't have the infrastructure, and he wasted, his advantage trying to just pummel me, and it would have been, so almost paid off for him. He came down, he managed to reduce me just to 2 settlements, so he so almost managed to break me and, claim victory, but it was just a gamble that didn't quite pay off, and now he's being punished for it. So I've managed to corner this light cavalry, behind me. He's not going to catch me twice. Fool me once, shame on me, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I was not going to let that happen. So he's banzaied with his light cavalry, which is going to be great at kind of just holding the line. But yeah, killing this light cavalry, not allowing him to really come and hit me in the back is going to be very important. And we're going to be able to silence his cavalry. As soon as that banzai goes off, his units are probably just going to end up breaking just because they're under so much pressure. And it is only light cavalry at the end of the day as well. So I'm hoping, this battle will just kind of clear up, and killing these 2 horses is going to be awesome because it's going to give me the cavalry advantage to hopefully use As well as that, we have kind of a nice land border right here as well. We can use these land borders. We don't use the red line, but with something like this, which is just kind of a land border, where it's a mountain or something, you know, we can use them to our advantage. So I can kind of like seal off this right flank and push a lot of my cavalry over to the left flank, which is going to be really useful. And there you go. You see the light cavalry breaking down. Now, a really smart move here by Apollo, which is, I think, exactly what he does, is he actually pushes up his army very aggressively. And you can look, he has a ton of numbers. Because he's using a lot more militia, his numbers are kind of crazy, whereas mine is more of a smaller elite force. Now, I think I don't have the number advantage just because of the amount of militia he has, but even still, he probably still has, you know, kind of close to me at least, or I'm kind of close to him at least. But yeah, he's going to seize the advantage right now, which is a really smart move. Because my army is still very much maneuvering into position, you can see there's so many gaps in my battle line, so him closing this line is actually really, really smart. And you can see he's got a very, very heavy left flank. He's going to look to try and break this left flank and kind of envelop me that way. He also has no Dachi infantry as well, so as you can see, he is actually bringing some really elite infantry to the battle, not only just militia. You know, these elite units are kind of prevalent in his army for sure, but it's just kind of like the backbone, or kind of like a lot of his infantry are going to be militia, just men he's managed to gather together in the hope to destroy me. But as you can see, lots of katana samurai as well, so it's not like his army is trash. The balance power is still very even. And yeah, again, like some militia, but again, a lot of katana infantry. So, and as I've had to rush into position as fast as I can, you can see a lot of my infantry are getting tired now. These hand mortars are exhausted. These guns are exhausted. But I've basically tried to stick like a front line of just all tempo Ashigaru, because obviously I can't shoot over with these guys and they have better range. So these guns are on the front line to kill his missiles. I've also got this unit of hand mortars in position. I'm going to be trying to kill his horse archers as well that he has. These horse archers do some serious damage if they can just get off all their shots. So I'm going to simply just be bombarding them with everything I've got. The gun line should be opening up any seconds now. I want to kind of zoom in here as the gun line does shoot. The hand mortars as well going off for another hit right there. That's going to force him forward. He's going to try and find a gap in, but luckily I'm going to be able to be there and kind of silence that. Is that the gun shooting? Oh, that's more of the hand mortars coming in again. Yeah, the hand mortars are just crazy. And this is nice. Again, killing his cavalry is just so important. And there we go. The gun line is now shooting. I advanced forward my Ashigaru line behind that just to be ready to move over when he does charge forward. And if we take a look at the map right now, you can really see that he's kind of going in for a nice little attack right there. A wedge formation almost. My guns are going to be volleying out, and I also have my other unit of hand mortars immediately focusing down this unit of katana infantry. I also had a really nice cavalry charge coming through right here, and I managed to take him off guard. With in Shogun 2, the forests play a huge role in hiding units, so I managed to really sneak up a unit of cavalry right there and silence his infantry, and that allowed me to push forward my more elite katana samurai into battle and close this distance. However, Apollo is going to be throwing forward his Shimazu katana samurai, which get obviously, you know, a buff because he is the Shimazu. But so I'm going to be able to move in whilst my entire gun line is going in. Apollo has also advanced forward his right flank as well, forward against my Ashigaru. I don't think these guys had time to get into spear walls, so they're going to be struggling a little bit more. I believe also he's got his Nodachi up here somewhere as well. Yeah, the Nodachi are going to cut through my Ashigaru just so easily. Like, it's just such a deadly unit that you never really want to be on the bad end of it, because the Nodachi with them are huge greatswords. They have no armor, so they're vulnerable to missiles, but they're just such an offensive unit. I think I had one unit in my army or something like that. So Apollo's strategy of trying to cave in this flank is, you know, going to probably work pretty well for him. He also has a lot of infantry focus up here, and he's doing such a great job of coming through these gaps right now. He's overwhelming my spear walls, and you can see a gap was formed, and Apollo is coming straight through that, trying to envelop and hit my missile line, you know, because I have so many archers. I have my bow samurai, my guns, and just so many more men. Luckily, yeah, I even have some of these veteran Yari Samurai as well. Again, kind of more of the elite versions of them. And they just do so much damage with all the bonuses that my general brings to the field. They just do so much damage. So the fact that Apollo is trying to get them is a really smart move. But luckily, you know, I have a lot of my own missiles coming in. He's going to about to collide with my front line as well. Over on this flank, I am luckily managing to win the day. However, I'm taking heavy casualties because of it. And you can also see I'm managing just to pour in with more and more men right there. However, there is huge gaps. I don't really know what the fuck happened here, but there's a huge gap in my front line, and Apollo is just going to exploit it, charging down my gunmen as they try their best, you know. They're going to volley in one by one, but yeah, Apollo's line is going to come in any second now and just hit the living crap out of my front line, which is going to be pretty catastrophic. I think I maybe get 1 or 2 more volleys off before he comes flying in and, yeah, gets onto these bowmen. And these katana samurai are going to rip through me really effectively. Luckily, over here, I've still got this gun line shooting, and, you know, even though he has broken forward, he is fighting, what was these Yari retainers. The Yari retainers offer so many good bonuses. You even get them at the beginning of the game, and they still just prove such a deadly focus of the battlefield. So even though Apollo is being pretty successful over here, I've managed to really envelop kind of the other flank. So I'm winning one flank, he's kind of winning the other. I also have a unit of cavalry right here, which I think I send to try and silence some of these missiles. The hand mortars are continuing to harass the bowmen back there. I just want to minimize that casualty. But yeah, Apollo's got his Nodachis involved in this battle, along with the other Yari samurai and other infantry. And as you can see, it's a pretty brutal battle right now, with cavalry coming around as well. Apollo is in his spear wall as well, which is really effective. But yeah, I managed to get my cavalry back here. He also has reinforcements coming on, so he actually had more than 40 units. And as I, you know, move on and route this army, it's going to be really important for me to push on. But yeah, like, killing this army, I need to also, you know, destroy him, because this is his last stand, right? But if he can still have more men to go and hide up in his castle, that's going to be pretty brutal. So I need to make sure that I kill these soldiers as well. I need to make sure they don't come back on the field. So that's why I'm also committing my cavalry, which is also preventing me from committing more men elsewhere. The hand mortars coming in. They're just doing so much stuff. I mean, look at that. They're so deadly. It's awesome. The infantry lines are moving in. I've also stand and fought with my general as well. And Apollo has his general involved in the battle. So this stand and fight is going to be just rallying the men to the general, boosting up their morale, their melee defense, and also their melee attack. But Apollo is also going to be going in and trying to, you know, shoot him. Obviously, he's a sitting target right now, so his own general was in here as well, fighting bravely on, and he's going to push him forward. I kind of see that I'm breaking in the center somewhat. So I'm actually going to bring my general back, remount him, and then fight off Apollo's daimyo. Also, his daimyo as well. Interesting fact is his daimyo is like a 6-year-old kid at this point. Or, you know, he's like a 12-year-old kid. And my daimyo is like a 36-year-old man. So it's basically like we're just finishing off his house once and for all. We're killing Mishimazu bloodline. As you can see, my general is, you know, his bodyguard is bravely fighting on against this mounted threat. The right flank is now slowly going in my favor. My cavalry is in the back lines. He does still have his reinforcements coming over, and he's done some serious damage in the center, but I think that's going to be enough for me just to kind of claim victory. Banter power is moving in my favor quite nicely. I've got my cavalry coming in the back of his bowmen, who again are just focusing down my missiles. A lot of these guys are still shooting as well. But luckily we're going to be able to break that, and I'm mounting up my general to then turn and fight his general. So we'll move our way in and kill his I think he's like 12-year-old leader or something. We'll finish him off once and for all. So yeah, the frontline clash. Apollo had some pretty big success over on this side, but my army at this point in the game, you know, and Apollo's been defeated and kind of brought up to his knees, and my army was just too good to lose, really. You know, no matter what Apollo did at this point, I think it was just doors. You know, I had so much infantry pouring in, and I believe I also still had 2 full stacks not involved in this battle waiting. You know, I gave him an honorable last stand for sure. And now it's just kind of a matter of cleaning up the rest of the infantry. My daimyo, after being, you know, hammered by turn 50, after fighting such a crucial, you know, I was fighting so many wars on my island, and then to have Apollo invade me, bring me down to 2 final settlements. I was literally down to 2 settlements. And, you know, having this daimyo come back was just such an awesome story, and it made for such a fun campaign, I think. It really did, you know, being so, you know, brought to my knees and pushed to my limits. You know, every maneuver counted. There was some major battles I lost against Apollo, and then to come back, claim victory, and now finally win the campaign was just so awesome. It really, really was. I had so much fun in this, and going back to Shogun 2 as well, I really realized what a great game Shogun 2 was. It was just so awesome, and yeah, it was such a fun campaign to be so kind of pushed to my limits as a commander and as a Total War player, only having 2 settlements left, and then managing to slowly regain, win a few battles. And it's brutal because in Shogun 2, siege battles are just so hard to take. You really need an overwhelming advantage to win in siege battles, which was really the only way I managed to hold on, because without that, I think I would have lost. If this was Rome 2, I would have lost. If this was any other Total War game, I would have lost. But because Shogun 2, siege battles are really difficult for the attackers, I managed to do enough damage to Apollo to really slow him up and buy myself time earlier on in the campaign. And, you know, being blockaded constantly throughout the game as well was just so crazy. But yeah, if you guys want to watch any of the campaign, see how it unfolds, see the craziness, I'll link it down below in the description. I'll also stick this one in the playlist as well, so you guys can see the final battle. There is also still like 10 more minutes of the campaign if you want to watch how it just winded up, and I'll leave that at the end of the playlist as well, you can check out. But yeah, as you can see, the final battle, Apollo did have 8,000 men. Again, a lot of them weren't amazing, but still. And holy crap, the Katana Kai. A lot of these kills were just running down, routing units, but even still, 700 kills on that unit is madness. 500 on the Yari Kai. Vechin Ashigaru doing more realistic damage of just, you know, holding this front line with the help of my daimyo as well. It was pretty goddamn nice. And you can see Shimazu, this is Apollo's first army as well. A lot of militia, some katanas. I think his second army had a lot more of his elite infantry in. But yeah, cool. Well, there we go, guys. That was the final battle of the campaign. If you enjoyed the campaign, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and a comment down below. I don't know what we'll be doing next. Maybe we'll start off with a samurai campaign. We'll have to see. But a massive thank you to everyone who supported the stream. I want to give a massive shout out to Tyler and Planet Express as well, because they were huge, massive donations every single stream whilst doing this campaign. So I really appreciate it, guys. I want to give you guys a special shout out. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the campaign, the streams, and I'll see you guys in the next one.